Yo, 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 what up, everyone? We live. Divine Sense Boxing in the building. Yo, so you see the title of the video, man. You see the thumbnail. So it's pretty straightforward this morning. For everyone jumping in, I appreciate you. Thanks for dropping by. Make sure you hit that like button on the way in. You guys know the drill. I know that Drew Titan is currently live as well. So I'll try to get this moving along as soon as I can. And usually I try to avoid going live when other channels are going live. But unfortunately, this is probably the only time that I can get this in while it's still fresh in my mind. So I appreciate everybody. And of course, Drew Titan. I'll try to wrap this up as soon as I can. We got Moped in the building. We got Nate. We got Nitty G. And also Jace Move in the building. I appreciate you. Salute to you. You know, for those of you who joined my live last night, the initial objective was to talk about the fights that happened this past weekend, right? Josh Taylor, Jack Catterall, Antoine Russell got in the ring against Victor Postol. And that was the main objective. But somehow towards the end of the live stream, I started talking a little bit about the heavyweights. And I started talking a little bit about Deontay Wilder in particular. And after I got done with that live, man, it was last night for you guys. And for me, it was still relatively late morning, afternoon. And as I got on with my day, I started really thinking about some stuff. Really thinking about the things that I said in that live. And then something kind of dawned on me that I want to express here in this live stream. You know, one thing that I said in the live stream last night was, I think that people are going to quickly forget what Deontay Wilder brought to the table in regards to the heavyweight division. Now, those of us who support him, of course, you know what time it is. We're never going to forget, right? We have the utmost appreciation for what he's done in the sport and what he brought to the heavyweight division. I'm talking about the detractors, the haters, the media, right? The boxing experts, you know, the men and women who come together and make these all-time great lists, right? It's not us who make them. It's them who make them. So what are people going to say about Deontay Wilder 20, 30 years from now? And I'm here to tell everybody, man, with a calm, cool, and collected voice. Cursor, what's up? There's a reason why I put in the thumbnail the laugh now, cry later icon. I grew up in Arizona, right? So that icon was a kind of a big thing growing up. A lot of people get tattoos of it. A lot of people made t-shirts of it. And you can translate that saying in many different ways. It represents many different things, right? Laugh now, cry later. For some people, it may mean that enjoy life. And when it's all said and done, you'll have time later to cry about it if it didn't go the right way. But the way that I'm representing it here this morning is quite simple. A lot of you dudes out there, and I know you're lurking. If you ain't watching now, you'll watch later. You know why? Because I got a big picture of Deontay Wilder for the thumbnail. And you won't be able to resist. Man, what's Divine talking about? Ah, man, he's talking about Deontay Wilder again. He can't let it go. You just can't stop talking about him. And you can't control yourself. You got to click in. You got to click in. And you will. So I'll explain it to you. A lot of you dudes out here who will click in, or if you're watching right now, y'all been laughing, man. Y'all been laughing the past 4 or 5 months. Laughing real hard. Having a great time on your channels, in the comment sections, chastising, criticizing. And I hate to say it, but there's actually channels out here that claimed and can actually prove, because I've seen it, they actually supported Wilder. But all of a sudden, the tide changed when it came to Wilder and Fury. Now, a lot of those, K-Rod was good. Stormy B-Man in the building, dropping in his custom emojis. I appreciate you. Stacy Rubin in the building. By the way, before I continue this conversation, and for all the official channel members, I've added some new custom emojis for you to use in the chats. I added a Shakur Stevenson, and I also added a Boots Ennis right there. So feel free to use at your pleasure and enjoy those custom emojis for all the official members of the channel. So, moving on. What I mean exactly in regards to laugh now, cry later. Because a lot of you were laughing and continue to laugh. Shit, you're probably laughing as you're listening to this live or when it's uploaded later. It's funny, right? It's funny. Okay. But I'm here to tell you guys this, man. Mangus Allen in the building. I'm here to tell you guys this. They laughing now, but they're going to cry later. The tears will start falling very, very soon. I think that we're going into another Klitschko era when it comes to the heavyweight division. I think it's going to be dark and gloomy, lackluster, and quite frankly, not very exciting. That's what I see. That's the forecast. And y'all be crying. As much you guys got so upset, like I said, laughing, carrying on, having a great time here on YouTube, eventually you're going to stay, I wish we got more knockouts in the heavyweight division. Me too. Me too. And that's when the tears will start rolling. That's when the tears will start rolling. So, a lot of people over the course of my return back to YouTube, I came on here at the height, right? At the peak of Deontay and Fury. A lot of you actually subscribed to my channel because of the videos that I dropped about that trilogy, especially leading up to the third fight. A lot of you did. And I did it with a pure heart, and I did it with 0 subscribers. I started from scratch when I reinvented my channel. I was gone for 5 years. 5. Not one video. I came in here and I spoke how I felt. And along the way, people just couldn't wrap their head around it. They couldn't understand it. Why do you like Deontay, though? He ain't shit. He ain't got no skill. He can't fight somebody against Fury. Like, he's gonna get destroyed in this next fight. That was leading up to the third fight at the time. I don't understand why you like him, though. For me, it was very, very simple when it comes to Deontay Wilder. Traditionally speaking, when I look at the sport of boxing, I have my favorite weight classes, right? We all do. And one of my favorite weight classes right now and has always been the welterweights and the middleweights. The reason for that is because that's the weight class that I would fight at. And I just feel more connected to that. It's more of my size of people, if you want to put it that way. And I watch a lot of super middleweights too. So 147 all the way to 168. That's always been my favorite divisions. But how could you not like heavyweights? How could you like boxing? I don't care what division you like. I don't care if you like bantamweights. I don't care if you like flyweights. How could you not like heavyweight boxing? Heavyweights are the only division where I look at who I want to cheer on and support in comparison to the other weight classes. Now, we talking about the welters, the middles, the super middles. I am an ardent supporter of skill set, boxing ability, defense, ring IQ, right? All those things matter a lot. The sweet science. But with heavyweights, man, I love them. I love a dude who can step through those ropes and knock somebody out. Clean out. No debate. No question. No scorecards. Sleeping. And Deontay did that for years. It just so happens that he's a fellow American. It just so happens that he started boxing late. It just so happens that he came into the sport as basically a laughing stock. Nobody thought that he was going to be able to accomplish what he did. It just so happens that he's had and continues to have an amazing story. Why wouldn't I be a fan of that? Why wouldn't I? And I find it funny that a lot of people, man, as in the media, as in the casuals, as in the haters, and as in the racists, have always tried to make it about race. A lot of us content creators out here, a lot of us don't even talk about race. We talk about skill. We talk about heart. We talk about determination. We talk about boxing. What you got in the inside. That's why Mike Tyson told you in his prime. Jack Dempsey, Sonny Liston, I'm cut from their cloth. Because what they had on the inside. That's what makes boxing so beautiful. It's not what you say. It's not what you look like. It's what you got on the inside and the skills you bring to the table. Deontay Wilder was blessed with one particular skill set, and people laughed at it and continue to laugh at it, and that is power. God-gifted power, even in the face of adversity. Losing a fight, not looking his best, stumbling around, looking terrible. The gods anoint him with his God-given power, and boom, down they go. When's the next time we're going to see that? Y'all laughing now, but you're going to cry later. And myself and some of us out here, others out here, like Stormy B Man and others, we're going to be here to remind you when you crying and talking shit about the heavyweight division. We're going to remind you. Because it was Deontay Wilder himself that brought the heavyweight division back into stardom. Back in the most exhilarating way. Out of that Klitschko era. Tyson Fury wants to lead you to false conclusions and false theories that he was the one that ended the drought. He was the one that beat Klitschko. No, sir. You beat an aging Klitschko, but the exhilaration of the heavyweight boxing had already begun with Deontay Wilder. And if it wasn't for Deontay Wilder himself, who brought you out of the gutter, who raised you up, resurrection, then there would have never been a Tyson Fury winning a trilogy. We don't even know if he'd be alive right now. As a matter of fact, you can say Deontay Wilder baptized him. Now, there's something else that's very interesting. Tom, what's good, bro? I haven't seen you in a long time, bro. Good to see you in here. There's something else. Arturo, what's good? There's something else that's interesting. And I mentioned this last night. Arturo was on the panel. Y'all notice, now that it's all said and done, right? After all of the turmoil, after all the bad things and bad blood and all the chaos, after it's all said and done, right? The trilogy looks like it's over. We're never going to see Wilder and Fury ever again. It's actually Fury now saying Wilder's the best guy I've ever fought. When people come out and criticize Wilder on Instagram or Twitter, Fury's the first one in to defend Wilder. Now, you can call it what you want to call it. My man Arturo said Fury's just trolling him. Because every time you build up Wilder, he builds up himself. Right? That narcissistic, egotistical mindset. But I think it runs deeper than that. I think the river runs deep. I think there's some underlining truth. Is that he knows that for whatever reason, unknown to us, the guys chose Fury to be the victorious one, and perhaps at the expense of some unfortunate and unknown things that have happened in the past two fights, fight 2 and 3. But nothing is coincidence, I believe. Everything happens for a reason. But deep down in his soul, deep down in his heart, he knows that he had to pick himself up off the canvas 4 times in 3 fights. 2 of which could have easily been a situation where the referee calls it and he's knocked out. He knows this deep down in his soul. And it doesn't matter how wretched you are, how evil you are, the demented things that you may have in your mind. We all have a soul. Some souls are just darker than others. But he feels it deep down in that soul. I promise you that. JD Walker, the boss talker. That's right. Devontae Moss, what's up? Yeah, that's because I used to go live around this time before, but now I don't. I usually go late. So I think I miss a lot of you guys. A lot of you guys are tired from work, going to bed. So I wanted to try to catch people in the morning. My man Stormy says, now, would you like to wipe your eyes or your ass? I advise you to think carefully. Wilder emoji. Remember this, guys. Remember this. Laughing now and cry later. It's right here. And I promise you the time is coming. I promise you. Rather Deontay comes back into the ring or not really isn't relevant, because I think if he comes back, I think he's coming back for himself, in my opinion. Maybe he got an itch. Maybe he wants to get back in there a couple more times, maybe make a little extra money. Who knows? Or he may, at some point this year, I believe, from the whispers I've been hearing, he's going to announce his retirement. And he's earned that. Then all you haters can sit back and say, good. We're glad Fury retired him. We're glad he's gone. We don't need no Deontay Wilder. He was bad for boxing. The man had no skill. Fury's the boss now. Fury's the king of the hill now. Y'all brace yourself, man. It's coming. The wave is coming. The wave of hate is coming. And they're going to be laughing. They're going to be chuckling. And they can't wait for the moment when Wilder finally officially retires. They're going to claim that his retirement is based off the fact that he lost the trilogy against Tyson Fury. They will put a false crown on the man's head as if he's a king. It's coming. They laughing now, but guess what? They're going to cry later. And I believe this in the very depths of my soul. I believe that Fury, in the next year or two, is going to suffer a devastating knockout. Devastating knockout. Because there's such a thing of something called accumulative damage. Do you think that the hardest puncher in the sport, arguably in the history of the sport, in heavyweight boxing, the type of punches that Fury had to take in 3 fights didn't have no effect? Trust me. Wait until he gets popped nice and hard on that cranium again. What will people say? I'll tell you what the media will say, right? Because Wilder's retired now, right? He's out. Everyone laughed at him. Soon as Fury gets knocked out, what are they going to say? They're going to say, oh, well, maybe he's going through some mental problems again. Maybe he wasn't focused. They're not going to say, oh, no, his cranium was cracked and busted and bruised and battered after 3 wars with the hardest puncher in the sport. You ain't going to give Deontay credit for that. I will. I recognize it. I know what it is. They laughing now, but they're going to cry later. Because as soon as Fury gets knocked out, what's Fury going to do? He's going to retire too. And then heavyweight boxing will enter into the Ice Age. Winter is coming, right? They say in Game of Thrones, winter is coming. The White Walkers, they're coming. Ice Age. And we're going to sit back like we did in the early 2000s for the better part of a decade, thinking, man, heavyweight division sucks. Yeah, the Klitschko's, man, they're doing their thing. Okay, cool, but it sucks. It's not exciting. It's not exhilarating. Robotic, 12-round decisions, maybe a late stoppage, but it's just boring. Right? Like I said, Deontay Wilder, it was Deontay Wilder who brought the heavyweight boxing division out from the depths. Karma is always a full circle, people. G5 in the building. If y'all ain't hitting the like button, I don't know what's going on. Exit out the chat real quick. Smash that like button. And you should be sharing this video with everybody on your social media right now who's not at work yet. Or even if they are at work, share it. Because I might make this for members only once this live is over. But I'm telling you, who's going to carry the banner of the heavyweight division once Deontay and Fury's out? Because Fury about to get knocked out soon. It's not going to be Dillian White either, but it's going to be soon after that. Who? Joshua? Usyk? And I like Usyk, man. I like his skill set. I like what he brings. I respect him a lot. But is Usyk really going to carry the heavyweight division? Because what is the heavyweight division known for? Exhilaration, power, knockouts. That's what the heavyweight division has always been. Right? Ask George Foreman. Ask Mike Tyson. Ask Rocky Marciano. Ask any great heavyweight. Throughout the history of the sport, that's what it's always been about. Yeah, you got some smooth boxers like a young Muhammad Ali change the landscape of the heavyweight division, sure. But even Muhammad Ali, he wasn't necessarily known as a knockout puncher like Sonny Liston was, but he still made it exhilarating. Who's going to do that now? They're laughing now, and they're going to cry later. And when they cry, like Stormy B-Man said, ain't going to be no Kleenex. There ain't going to be no pat on the back. There ain't going to be, oh, it's okay, we understand. Yeah, we're all in the same boat. No, you in a boat by yourself. You've always been in a boat by yourself. Sailing aimlessly in the middle of the ocean with your little crew. Lost at sea. That's what you are. And that's what you always be. The ones who recognize what it is and what it always will be, we on dry land. Tropical fruits. Beautiful women. Loving life. Because we know what it is. We real recognize real. Gnarly Ray, what's good, man? Good to see you. But look, I hate cutting into Drew Titan's time right now because I know he's doing his thing over on his channel. I didn't want to make this too live. It's just something on my chest that I wanted to say. Because I've been seeing so much shit on YouTube over the course of 6-7 months. And they've been laughing. They've been chuckling. They've been having a great time high-fiving on the live streams, beating their drums. Wilder got beat. Wilder got embarrassed. Wilder ain't shit. This, that, and the third. Okay. But you know what's funny? You know what's funny, man? You know what's really, really funny? Every person who has hated on Wilder, and I'm talking all the way to the highest level of hate, and the level is so extensive that it is mind-blowing. The hate for Wilder. I mean, it's on another level. Even those guys at that level who hated Wilder so much, you want to know something? Every time Wilder is about to fight, you know they tune in. You know this. Just like they did Mayweather. Hated him. Couldn't stand him. Making videos about him constantly. Calling him gay weather. Calling him a duck. This, that, and the third. But they kept tuning in. So you think you're the only one laughing because Wilder lost while you were busy hating and still tuning in and buying those pay-per-views? And you're buying those pay-per-views in bulks because you got to hook up with your boys and you got to sit there and watch to see if Wilder's going to lose or not. So while you were busy doing that, Deontay Wilder went to the bank. He's in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, laughing right back at you. Remember that. Remember that. When you're sitting in your mom's basement, plugging away on your laptop. And I came across, by the way, I'm not going to mention any names. I'm going to see if you guys know who this is, if you pay attention to these YouTube streets. But I came across a certain individual out here who I think is white. I don't even know. He claims to be Italian or some shit. Running across here on all these panels. Been talking crazy shit about Deontay Wilder, crazy shit about the LDBC, dropping the N-word everywhere. Right? It's people like him living in his garage. And there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. But look, I think I pretty much said what I wanted to say. And for the people that come in here later that can't help themselves, they gotta click on it because they see the thumbnail and they see Deontay Wilder's face and they think, man, what is Divine Sense talking about this time? I just don't understand why this man likes Deontay Wilder. I just don't get it. Because you want it to be about something else. That's what you want. You want it to be something more than what it is, which is a great American heavyweight who brought excitement back into the division. No sugarcoating, no beating around the bush. That's why, since 2012, have I been a Deontay Wilder fan. See, back then, a lot of you guys hating on Wilder right now, you didn't mind him back then. You're like, oh yeah, I don't mind a guy who knocks dudes out. That's cool. Let's see what happens. But as soon as he faced Fury, though, y'all wanted Wilder to lose, didn't you? Yeah, you wanted him to lose deep down. That's why when I dropped my first and very video when I came back on YouTube, I entitled it, Deontay Wilder's going to smash Tyson Fury. Smash in capital letters. Oh, did I awaken the beast? I saw the comments piling in. I said, wow. That's where we at. Cool. I like to be uncomfortable. I do. I work better under pressure. I work better when there's adversity. I like that. I love it. I thrive in it. I thrive in those conditions. And it's all said and done. Wilder's hand may have not been raised after the second and third fight, but he's going to be the real champion in life. 20 years down the road, when Wilder's in his 50s, we'll see. We'll see who the real champion of life is when we're going to look at Fury and Wilder. Mark my words. Probably even before that. Could be only 10 years from now, when Wilder's in his mid-40s. We'll see then who's the real champion of life. My man Volts UK says, when you look at the American heavyweights since Wilder turned pro, they've all been mediocre. Wilder has carried the American flag on his own. All the pressure has been on him for a long time. Yeah, but he embraced that pressure. You know, another thing that I respect about Deontay Wilder is that he was seeking greatness. He was seeking glory. He wanted to be remembered amongst the names of Joe Frazier, Muhammad Ali, and these great American heavyweights. And I said American with pride. He wanted that. He stated that on multiple occasions. Right? And I admire that because little boys and girls they looked up to Deontay. He wanted to be the people's champ. Deontay used to walk around publicly and greet people, sign autographs, just like Joe Louis did, just like Muhammad Ali did. A man of the people. What's Fury doing? Walking around shirtless in Vegas, looking like a fool after he supposedly got COVID? Y'all need to wake up, man. Y'all seriously need to wake up. The sensei in that super chat, he says, they now saying he lost all 3 fights, Divine Sense. People are such hypocrites. Watch what history places him. Watch where history places him. Yeah. We're going to be sitting back. And it's the young generation, Stormy B, man. It's the young generation. 20, 30 years from now. Shit, I may not even be here then. Stormy B, man, you may not even be here then. But it's that generation who are in their early 20s right now. They're going to look up to guys like me. Those of us who are in our 30s and 40s and 50s right now, right? It's our children, our grandchildren, and those younger. They're going to come up and they say, who's this Deontay Wilder guy? What was he about? You know what Deontay Wilder is? You know what I'm going to tell my daughter when she asks me, who's now starting to get into a little bit of boxing? One day, she's going to hear me talk about it or see a picture or watch a YouTube video. But Daddy, who's this guy? He looked like a monster. He was knocking guys out. I'm going to say, you know who that is, babe? That's the American dream. Deontay Wilder was the American dream. That's what that is. And that's what we need to do, is open up the minds, hearts, and ears and eyes of our children and our grandchildren and let them know. I appreciate you, Stormy B, man, more than you know. Anthony Clark says, wasn't he the only one to medal the Olympics? Yep. But he ain't got no skill. He ain't got no skill, Anthony. That's what they say. And like Stormy B Man said, now they're saying that he lost all 3 fights. They never wanted Deontay to win. They never did. And when I say they, you guys know who I'm talking about. Oh, it ain't a man. It's the man. It's the man. You guys hear what I'm saying? There's a bigger picture to this shit. And I run into people from the UK all the time. And not all people from the UK are like this. But I would say majority of them are Fury fans. They can't embrace Anthony Joshua, because Anthony Joshua, he's slipping. He's slipping down a slippery slope. But right now they embrace Tyson Fury right now, all over the UK. And I run into him all the time. Where I live, there's a lot more people from the UK than there are Americans. Much more Europeans in general on this side of the world where I'm at. And I get into conversations all the time. Some UK fans will say, I'm a Fury fan, and I got respect for Deontay, he's a great puncher, this, that, whatever. With those type of people, I just say, well, you just don't really know Deontay, but it's fine. But then there are people who just straight up have no respect for Deontay or his skills and his abilities and what he has accomplished. He was a bum who got lucky until he faced Tyson Fury. And that is actually a very popular opinion amongst Tyson Fury fans, especially from the UK. So they are telling their side of the story to their children and grandchildren, and we will have our side. But one thing that you can't change in the history books is that knockout record, baby. That's one thing you can't change. When we sit back 15, 20 years from now and we talk about the most devastating punchers in boxing history, you just can't forget about Deontay Wilder, man. You just can't. Tyson Fury will never be a part of that conversation. And you would say, well, Divine, like knockouts aren't the only thing, right? There's a lot of fighters that have a lot of knockouts, but a lot of losses. Sure. But what division are you talking about, though? I'm talking about the heavyweight division. But to your point, Anthony, in regards to him winning the Olympics, how do you win the Olympics when you got no skill? When it's a system built off points. It's a point-based system in the Olympics. How do you not have skill? To even be recognized. I had a gentleman on the panel back 3 or 4 months ago who was a national champion back in the late 90s. A national champion when he was like 16 or 17 years old. He never made it to the Olympics. Why? He wasn't good enough. This is what I try to tell people, man. This is when I run into these Tyson Fury fans. It's what I try to drill through their thick skulls. If you want to ride off into the sunset with your boy Tyson Fury and be happy of your victory, well, by all means, I ain't going to stop you. But I will stop you when you talking that bullshit. My man Kenneth Smith in that super chat says, great commentary. Well, it's great to have you in the chat, Kenneth, and I appreciate you immensely. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for hitting that like button. And if you haven't hit that like button, get those likes all the way up, as high as you can get them. Let the people know we are in here speaking the truth. Let's go ahead and get it up to 30 likes before I get up out of here. Some of you may have came over from Drew's show to stop by and see what I'm talking about. Some of you may plan to go there afterwards. Just let Drew know it's not my intention to cut through his show, but sometimes things sit heavy on my heart and I got to let it out. And I got to let it out during a time where I can try to capture as many people as I can, which is the morning time leading into the afternoon time for you guys. And for all the people at work right now, on your hustle, trying to make that money, pay the bills, take care of your family, and you got one ear on the commentary, I appreciate you even more. I appreciate the multitasking. But don't forget to hit that like button, though. You know what I mean? So, look, I promised myself I won't go more than an hour on this live stream this morning. And this is one of those things where I don't do this very often, but it's just like I don't know how to extract. It's like a rose in a field of sunflowers, right? It's kind of like a one-off anomaly pops up, and I just got to talk about it. But look, we are coming at the end of February, going into March. There's a lot for us to talk about. Get back to boxing. Get back to what we all love to do and talk about. And March is going to be full of a lot of fight breakdowns, a lot of fight predictions, a lot of open panels, a lot of discussions, because, man, we got some loaded fights coming up in April, especially. Big names, big fights coming up. Looking forward to it. And like I said, man, all the official members of the channel, I've now created some new custom emojis for you guys to use in the chat because Shakur Stevenson is getting ready to fight. I made a custom emoji of him. I'll go ahead. If any of you guys would like to become a supporter of the channel, the link is right there. Just click that link, and it's only a couple dollars every month, man. Like I said, get access to custom emojis, get an official badge to represent how long you've been supporting the channel. Some of these people in here already have the 6 months. You've been a supporter for more than 6 months badge. And that's what's up, man. That means a lot to me, and it keeps me going. Hands Beecham. What's good, bro? Yup. Remember, guys. Remember this. Remember this video. Remember this live. Remember this topic. Remember that icon. Laugh now, but cry later. And I promise you, the tears will start flowing very, very soon. They will celebrate. They will celebrate once Wilder finally does officially retire. But the tears will flow when heavyweight boxing enters the Ice Age. I promise you that. And you'll think of your boy, Divine Sense Boxing, who told you all this. Y'all remember it. It's coming. But we're going to continue to hold our head up high with no shame for the things that we've said and what we have represented, because we've done it with a genuine heart. And that's the only thing that matters. But look, man, every single one of you who came by today, I appreciate you. Don't forget to hit that like button. Click that link if you want to become an official member of the channel and continue to support the channel just for a couple dollars a month. I appreciate you immensely, man. And we've got a lot of great boxing topics coming up next month. Looking forward to it. Don't forget to hit me up on the gram if you want to join in any of the panels that will be coming up next month. I'll also be in the States next month in a couple of weeks. So that'll be another awesome thing to be a part of. So I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here so y'all can show some love to Drew. I'm going to do the same thing. And again, I appreciate you guys. Looks like we got over those 30 likes, man. So that's what's up. That's what I was hoping for. And that's just thanks to you guys, man. All right, guys, I'm going to get up out of here. Much love and appreciation. Stay strong. Stay positive. It's your boy, Divine Sense Boxing. I'm out.